And now from the Hill City Paranormal Haunted Hotline, another true spooky tale from a loyal listener.
Hi there, this is Candace Phelps. I've lived in the Lynchburg area my entire life and have not only experienced but heard stories of weird and unexplainable things happening all over the Lynchburg area. Years ago, I had a job as a receptionist at a law firm that had been located in downtown Lynchburg on Court Street for quite a long time. While I was working there, the other people in the office would sometimes mention the, quote, man that they heard walking around the old building or that they had seen out of the corner of their eye. No doubt the building looked a little creepy, even though it was in decent shape and was well kept, but there were sometimes the sounds of footsteps in the hall, and I sometimes thought I saw someone standing in the lobby in a suit and tie when no one was there. However, the man that the others claimed to see didn't wear a suit and tie, apparently. He supposedly wore denim overalls. The building was at one time used for housing for a local women's college, and it was owned, I'm told, by a couple that boarded the students, maintained the house, and kept the grounds. The husband often wore overalls and was in the building all the time doing his job. If I remember the story correctly, when his wife passed away, he no longer kept ownership of the building, and it passed to someone else, and then he died soon after that. But after he died, people claimed to hear him moving around and doing things in the building like he did when he was still living. My aunt, who worked there with me, she claimed that you didn't hear these things, these weird things, until stuff was moved around in the building or renovation was taking place. And the first time I heard about the man, I thought it was interesting but didn't think much of it. However, literally, no joke, the very next day, a gentleman that used to live across the street came in and started asking us if we had seen the man in the building anytime recently. I'm not making that up. That is 100% true. We didn't bring it up. We didn't mention it while we were first talking to him. Nothing. It was really weird. I remember we remarked on it later in the day, and while we were speaking with him, that we were just talking about the man the day before, and out of nowhere, someone comes in and starts asking about any recent experiences. My aunt claimed that she saw the man herself once, but only his legs in the denim overalls, as odd as that sounds. There was a lot of boxes with files and whatnot in storage in one part of the building, and they were being moved to another part of the building or being removed altogether. And while this was happening, she caught a glimpse of the denim overalls, but just the pants part. Even she mentioned how strange that was, just to see the legs area of the denim overalls. And she had no reason to lie, or even mention it, except that the experience was so strange, and it stuck with her for years after that. I'm sure if I asked her about it today, she'd feel the same way. And I'm going to see her within the next week, so I may actually ask her about that. The man never hurt anything or showed himself to me personally. And while I don't believe we stick around after death, I definitely believe there is something to these strange occurrences that you hear about. And that it's not just our imagination. I really don't think it's all just people's imagination. It can't be. Too many people have seen stuff, I've seen stuff or heard stuff, and it's sure, I'm sure there's people making some stuff up, but overall, no, I don't think the majority of people are. Now, maybe it was an angel there to protect us, because again, like nothing bad ever happened. It was almost more of a comforting thing, or like, hey, I'm here. Is there any truth to what they call the stone tape theory? I don't know. And either way, it's just interesting stuff. And I have more stories that I'd like to share in the future. And I appreciate you taking your time and hearing our stories and sharing it. The podcast is awesome. I can't wait to hear more. I discovered you guys just a couple months ago, and really looking forward to see what all, you guys have to share. Thank you so much. You have an awesome day.
Have a spooky tale yourself? Call Hill City Paranormal at 434-381-0242 or visit us online on the interwebs at hillcityparanormal.com. This has concluded today's broadcast episode. Tune in next time for another episode from Hill City Paranormal.